Peter the Great was one of the most famous rulers of Russia. He was born in 1672, in a country that was very different from other parts of Europe. At that time, Russia was large but not modern. Peter wanted to change this and make Russia stronger, richer, and more connected to the rest of Europe. When Peter was young, Russia was ruled by his half-sister, Sophia. She was in charge because Peter was too young. But Peter wanted to be king, and when he was old enough, he took control of the country. He became the Tsar of Russia in 1682, at just 10 years old, but his real power came when he was older. As a young man, Peter loved learning. He was very curious about how things worked. He traveled to Europe to see how other countries lived. During his travels, he saw many new things, such as modern ships, advanced factories, and great cities. He knew that Russia needed to change, and he wanted to bring these new ideas back to his country. One of Peter's first goals was to make Russia's army and navy stronger. He believed that a strong army was the key to Russia's power. He started by building a new navy, which was something Russia didn't have before. He knew that having a good navy would help Russia trade with other countries and protect the country's long coastline. Peter also wanted to change the way people lived in Russia. He thought that Russia should be more like Europe. He began to bring in new ideas about clothing, culture, and education. For example, he made it a law for men to shave their beards. This was because beards were not common in Europe at the time, and Peter wanted to make Russia look more modern. He also encouraged people to wear European-style clothes instead of the traditional Russian ones. Peter built many new cities, roads, and factories in Russia. He worked hard to make the country more modern and connected. One of his biggest projects was the city of St. Petersburg. Peter wanted to build a new capital city on the coast of the Baltic Sea. He chose a location that was swampy and difficult to work with. But Peter was determined. He brought thousands of workers to build the city, and it became the heart of Russia's power and culture. St. Petersburg was a symbol of Peter's vision for a modern Russia. Peter also worked on improving Russia's education system. He wanted to make sure that people were well educated and able to learn about science, art, and history. He brought in foreign experts to teach people in Russia. Many people in Russia started to learn new skills and ideas that helped the country grow. Peter was also a very strong and sometimes harsh leader. He made many changes that were not easy for everyone. Some people in Russia did not like the changes Peter was making, especially the laws about clothing and beards. But Peter didn't stop. He believed that these changes were necessary for Russia to become stronger and more modern. One of the biggest wars Peter fought was the Great Northern War against Sweden. The war lasted for many years, from 1700 to 1721. Peter wanted to take control of the land near the Baltic Sea. This land was important because it would give Russia a better place to trade with Europe. Peter worked hard to build a strong army and navy to fight the Swedish. The war was long and difficult, but in the end, Peter won. Russia gained control of important lands, and this victory helped make Russia a more powerful country in Europe. Peter also worked hard to make Russia a more powerful country in the world. He wanted Russia to have a strong economy, so he encouraged people to trade with other countries. He built many factories to produce goods such as textiles, weapons, and iron. He also built a large navy to help with trade and protect Russian interests on the seas. Peter's vision for Russia was to make it strong, modern, and connected to Europe. He worked hard to change many things in the country. His reforms were often difficult and unpopular, but they helped make Russia one of the most powerful countries in Europe. Peter the Great was a ruler who changed Russia forever. His reforms helped Russia become a modern country with a strong army, navy, and economy. His work was not easy, and many people did not agree with all of his ideas, but his actions helped make Russia a powerful country on the world stage. He ruled until his death in 1725, and even after his death, his ideas continued to shape Russia for many years to come. Through his travels, his strong leadership, and his bold decisions, Peter the Great was able to transform Russia into a country that could stand strong in Europe. His legacy is still felt in Russia today, and he remains one of the most important leaders in Russian history. Peter's desire to make Russia a more powerful nation did not stop after his reforms in education, culture, and military. He wanted Russia to be part of the world in a bigger way. To do this, Peter pushed for many changes in the way Russia interacted with other countries. He encouraged Russian merchants to trade with nations like France, England, and the Netherlands. The more Russia traded, the more it could grow and become rich. This made Peter's ideas even more important because a strong economy was the key to a strong country. With new trade routes, Russia began to get more resources and goods from other countries, which helped the people and the economy. Peter's policies were often difficult for the people of Russia to accept, but they changed Russia forever. Before Peter, Russia was a country focused on tradition. People lived their lives following old ways. But Peter wanted Russia to look forward, not backward. He wanted Russia to be as powerful as the other nations in Europe. With his new army, navy, economy, and strong government, Peter was able to make Russia a stronger, more modern nation. Even today, people remember Peter the Great as the leader who made Russia stand tall and proud. His work continues to inspire Russia's leaders and citizens, showing them what hard work and bold ideas can do for a country. Peter the Great was not just a ruler. He was a force of change that shaped the history of Russia and Europe. He led with courage, vision, and determination, and his legacy still lives on in Russia today.